Hello and welcome to Study with Sudhir, your digital classroom. I actually did not intend to do this video and I'll tell you why. I thought with just about a week to start for the ICSE Class 10 examination, everyone will be in examination mode, not really bothering about anything else like social media, television, PUBG, other games, video games, going out with friends, parties, etc. But many of you have been writing in, which is precisely why I'm doing this video, saying that there is a lot of portion left, we are not confident, will we get a 90, will we get a 95, will we get a 98? Now, the point that I want to make is that all of you are different. As I speak, we have about 7,400 subscribers. There are many channels which have much larger numbers, but well, we were at around 400 on the 31st of December. The point I'm trying to make is that all of you are different and live in different cities. I don't even know most of your names except a few, especially among the early subscribers. Those of you who go with usernames like gaming and beast, etc., I can't even imagine what your names or in some cases what your gender would be. But two things are common and that's what I want to talk about. Two things are common. One, of course, is the desire for high scores, and number two, the butterflies in your stomach, right? I hope I'm getting it right. How do we address this? And I want to just tell you 5 points in brief as to how do we, you and I together, address this. Number one that you need to do is to forget the past. What has gone by, the time which is in the past tense is not going to come back. So there's no point regretting that you did not put in enough effort in the past 1 year. There's no point your parents also telling you कि कमबख्त थोड़ी मेहनत कर लेता तो ये दिन देखने को नहीं आते, है ना? अभी टेंशन करने से क्या फायदा? You know, you must be hearing all these lines at home. Pretty normal Indian households. You are no different. So there's no point regretting about the fact that you could have cut down on all the masti that you did in the last 10 odd months. The point is that the lesson that you need to learn now, and the lesson that you need to learn now is to make every minute count. I repeat, make every minute count. That has to be the big lesson that you have to learn from what all you did not do right in the last 10 odd months. Okay, now that brings me to step 2. How do we make every minute count? Okay, you basically need to make every moment, every minute, every second, every hour, every day count and work for you. How do you do that? Now, you cannot let the clock dictate terms to you. I know this may sound a little abstract, but you cannot keep looking at the clock and say, "Arey, 2 baj gaye, arey, 4:30 baj gaye. Oh God, it's already 6 o'clock and I have not finished with the chapter which I wanted to finish by 4 o'clock. You cannot let the clock tense you. You need to control the time in the sense that your mind needs to be at peace with what you are doing. If something is going to take you 1 hour, provided you have not revised it before at all, it's no way it's going to finish in 15 minutes. Quite likely that it may take 1.5 hours, right? All of us go through that. But if you do it a second or a third time, you will be able to actually finish it off even in 45 minutes. It's all about how it absorbs in the mind. Fine? The third step is actually the tough part. The third step is, I want each one of you to banish one word from your vocabulary at least till your exams get over, which is tomorrow. Banish that word. Expel that word. Tadi par kar do us shabd ko. The kal shabd, as in tomorrow, as in nalaki in Tamil or repu in Telugu, should not exist in your vocabulary at least till your exams get over. In fact, it should not exist in your life at all, you know. You should do tomorrow's work today. Because even if at this stage, if you are going to say, ki main ye kal karunga, that means you have not learnt your lesson. You have not learnt your lesson. Because if you are going to push aaj ka kaam to kal, if you are going to push today's work on to tomorrow, success will also do the same to you. It will also say, I will also postpone. Pretty logical, isn't it? It will also say, let me also take my own sweet time. You are taking your own sweet time to do what you should actually ideally be doing right now, today. You are putting it off to tomorrow, to day after tomorrow. So let me also postpone success coming to your doorstep to tomorrow, day after tomorrow, God knows when. Because if you don't keep your end of the promise not to a third person but to yourself, no one else is going to keep their end of the promise, especially success, not lady luck. Success will not keep its promise to you. So, many of you will actually make a lot of temple visits. Nothing wrong in that. I also believe in God. I also go to temples occasionally. Nothing wrong in going to temples to seek peace of mind and just to focus and concentrate at that point in time. But God also helps those who help themselves. So you cannot say that, Bhagwan meri naiya par laga de English language mein ya physics mein. Sorry, God may not know all the subjects. He may not know your syllabus either. So don't put everything to God. Success is actually in your hands, provided you do the right amount of effort. That is what you need to do. You need to put in that right amount of effort. Number 5, worrying and stressing, which many of you are going through at this point in time, and not just you, even your parents are going through a lot of stress. In fact, I have been receiving a number of mail written by parents just in the last 10 days, 2 weeks, saying that their son, their daughter is going through this. What should he do? What should she do? She got this many percentage in the pre-boards. Will she be able to cross the 90% barrier? What should her strategy be? What should his strategy be? So the parents are equally stressed and worried because they are obviously anxious, because you are passing on your stress levels, your anxiety, your worries onto them. Nothing of this actually helps, and it does not help to have a stressed atmosphere at home. It's not conducive for getting all that data going into your head. Okay. So if you feel that the time is running out of your hands, it's almost like, trying to capture sand in your hand. If you hold it very tight, it will keep actually going past. It's not as though it's going to stop just because you hold the sand tightly in your hands. It doesn't work that way. So the solution is to keep your mind occupied with different subjects that you need to study, the different targets that you need to meet. Okay, by 6 o'clock this evening, I need to finish this part of the portion. By 10 o'clock, I need to finish this of another subject. You just need to keep at targets, meet targets, like many marketing executives in different companies do. They all are given targets, fortnightly targets, monthly targets, quarterly targets, and they are pushed to achieve them. You also need to push yourself. You are the employee, you are also the boss. You need to push yourself to achieve and meet those targets. And even when you are not actually studying, dinner time, keep your mind engrossed in thinking about this, because this is the time we are at the doorstep of examination. This is the time when your mind should be focused 120% only on what you need to do in order to be quote unquote successful. And I will come to that quote unquote successful in just a bit, because a calm mind essentially, and that's what you need to tell your parents also, a calm mind absorbs better. A tense mind actually gets into all kind of knots. So that will not work. One of the students, a new subscriber, a student called Rishi Singh, wrote a very nicely written mail from Lucknow. This morning I read it, and he wrote about peer pressure. He said he had scored about 85% in the pre-boards, but he is feeling tense that his friends may actually score much more than him, and he wants to achieve 95%. I personally was both happy and a little worried after reading his comment, and I will tell you why. I personally feel Rishi Singh is in a good position because he is very clear about his goal. What worries him is the peer pressure. What I told him, what I wrote to Rishi Singh this morning is that when an athlete runs, he looks at his track. You understand? If he is going to worry about the 3 athletes this side and the 4 athletes that side, if he keeps looking कि वो कितना आगे है, ये कितना पीछे है, he will only lose those valuable seconds while he is on the 100 meters, 200 meters or 400 meter dash. So he needs to concentrate on his track, and if it is a 400 meter hurdles, he needs to focus on the steps he needs to take rhythmically in order to jump over the hurdle in a clean manner. Okay, he has to look at his hurdles. He can't be looking at other runners' hurdles or how other athletes are performing, because then he is likely to miss his step and crash into the hurdle. So that is very important. Don't look at it as a race. Each one of you, in fact, each one of us in life is running our own race. It does not matter. There are some people who reach the target a little early, some people who reach a target a little late. It does not matter. What matters is the amount of effort, the quality of effort that you're putting in order to run that race. That is what is going to make all of you better individuals and prepare you better for the bigger challenges in life. Your 10th class exam is a small challenge. When you go to 11th class and 12th class, you will look back at 10th class and say, "Arey, iske upar I was worrying so much." So it will seem like a small challenge, and trust me, it is not such a big challenge. But what you need to do is to ensure that you're putting in your best effort, because that is what is going to define your character. It is the process which matters, and it is how you react to this challenge which is going to define your character. It is going to define your personality. Understood? It's not something very abstract. What I'm saying is actually the truth, and you will realize it yourself a little later in life if you don't realize it right now. Okay, and even if you fall short by a few millimeters in the race, by a few marks, suppose Rishi Singh's friends score 1% or 2% more than him, does it really make so much of a difference? It's not a matter of life and death. This is not the first race, final race of your life either. In fact, this is the first big race of your life, right? So this race is essentially to test how well you perform, and at the end of the race, it will help all of us realize what your potential is. More importantly, you will realize what your potential is. So even if you get a 75 or an 85 or a 95, does not make you better or lesser than anyone else. These are just marks. What matters is how you ran the race. That is what is important. How you run the race will actually make all the difference to you in life. And when you are 25 years old, 35 years old, 40, and when you look back at how you did the 10th class, it should be with a sense of pride कि मैंने अपनी तरफ से पूरी मेहनत की, that I put my best foot forward. That has to be the spirit. Okay, so don't feel stressed, don't feel worried, don't feel anxious, don't pass on your anxieties to your parents. Put your best foot forward, be systematic, be logical, work hard, stay focused, stay hungry. Okay, and success will definitely come knocking at your door. Okay, it will send an email in the right format. Okay, thank you very much for watching. All the best. Thank you.